Right, how you doing all? Just out taking some pictures, and I wanted to put a quick video together to show how sometimes I'll use a long exposure, or because I'm doing a long exposure, it will change my composition, and sometimes it will change the way I take a shot. And what I mean by that is, I'll put you all the way up there so you can see. At the minute, nice little waterfall there, but you've got the kind of fall off, the white water, which is obviously it's white, and it fades and fades and fades, and then eventually you get loads of little bubbles down here on the right. Well, when you take a quick picture, got my Canon EOS R, got my Nissi f4 15mm, fully manual lens, love it, as you've seen in the past videos. Focused pretty much to infinity, so it's a manual lens. The camera reckons are pretty much good exposures, quarter of a second, third of a second. Let that take a picture. But what I was getting at is, with a quick exposure, you hardly see the bubbles in the shot. But then sometimes when you take a long exposure, you're like, bugger me, I didn't even see that. Does that make sense? So like now, I've just taken a shot, which looks like this. If you look to the right of the frame, see the bottom right hand side, you've got the waterfall, and then you've got the little fall off of water, and it kind of goes into nothing. What I'm going to do now is extend. I know you've got the white water there, and then you've got this fall off, and it's only a few bubbles. So in the picture, it doesn't really look like much, but I know if I do a long exposure, I'm going to have a bit of a trail down that right hand side, and because of that, that's going to change the way I set up the shot. It's going to change my composition. So that last shot was a third of a second. What I'm going to do now, I'll just do it in real time, leave you up there. I'll put you up high so you can see it. I'm hoping you can see this little trail of bubbles down here. Third of a second, so I'm going to put on my Lee Pro Glass IRND 6-stop. Love this lens, love this filter. I'm shooting in fully manual. My lens is on f13, something like that, f12. ISO 100, my focusing's in. All I'm going to do is make sure my filter's clean, which it ain't, it's minging. I love this filter. I don't need any graduated filters because I'm surrounded by the trees. It's not the greatest shot in the world, but I just wanted to show you what I mean by my composition might change because of when the long exposure comes out. There's stuff there that you didn't see before. That makes sense. Obviously, the longer you've been doing photography, the longer you know that those little hidden gems are there. So, Lee IRND Pro 6-stop. Bang him on. Right. Obviously, it's black on the back of the screen. So all I'm going to do now is slow my shutter speed to 8 seconds. Whoa, look, the bloody sunlight's just come out and hit that there. That's what I don't want, so I'm not going to take the shot yet, because that white water is white enough. I don't want it any whiter. So, I never normally say this, but sun, can you just bugger off for 30 seconds? Wait for that to die down. Oh, I'm getting a bit of a shadow over there now. Histogram reckons about 15 seconds. So now I'm going to take that same shot, 15 seconds. I want sort of 15, 20 seconds because I want this fall off that's going to come down the right hand side. Oh, 20 seconds. Put that on a 10-second timer. Obviously the shot to me is going to look better anyway because I like that look on the water. But instead of now having the faint bubbles on the right hand side, there should be a bit more of a distinct runoff, which when you look at the picture is the reason why I changed the composition. So that's gone to 20 seconds. Everything was the same. I've just put the IRND 6-stop on. Just increased my shutter speed to 20 seconds. This is what the picture looks like. Bit more of a streak down the right hand side. Yeah, quite like that. It's not the best shot in the world, but hopefully you see what I mean about using long exposure, because obviously long exposure changes the shot. Things look different on a long exposure. So apart from the obvious ghostly white water, as people call it, sometimes in a normal plain shot, you can have loads of empty space in the bottom of the frame. But if you've got the white water drop off, swirling round, you can use that to frame the shot. Cool, hope that helps. What was I going to say? Another thing, I'm taking these kind of shots, because I'm going up to 15-20 seconds, I'll take the same long exposure shot a couple of times, because I noticed earlier on, I got 2 shots the same, but the wind must have been heavier. In one shot, the leaves up there were a bit blurry, which I didn't like. And I took the same shot again with a 20-second exposure, but there couldn't have been much wind and the trees were quite still. The only thing I want blurry, or the only thing I want the long exposure for, is the water. Everything else I want as static as I can. Unfortunately, it's blowing a bloody hoolie now, so if you can find somewhere out of the wind underneath, tickety-boo. Cool. Da, 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 da. Cheers. Bye.